Welcome back to Sissy Spaces. Today we're continuing with my spring cleaning series outside as I refresh my front yard space. But before we do that, I would like to introduce myself. My friends call me Charlene, but my family call me Sissy, thus the channel name. I live outside of Atlanta with my spouse of 31 years, our two sons, and our fur baby Max. On my channel, you will see a lot of cooking, cleaning, decorating, decluttering, and organizing videos, and occasionally some lifestyle updates. So if you enjoy that type of content, at the end of the video, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button and share this channel with your family and friends. My plan for this space is to trim the hedges, remove the dead shrubs and plant new ones, add additional shrubs, clean up my purple lilies that are located here, lay some new mulch that they're currently selling at Sam's for $8.98 per 1¼ cubic feet, and power wash the entryway and sidewalk. On this side, I will also add mulch, new shrubs, and trim the hedges. I may also need to de-weed in some areas. On the driveway side of our home is the Mocha brown mulch that I mentioned earlier from Sam's. We laid this mulch about 2 years ago, and it doesn't look too bad, so I will just add fresh mulch to it and de-weed in some areas. To get this project started, I stopped at Home Depot and picked up 3 lavender plants, 2 Japanese holly, and 4 boxwoods. Our home faces west, so it's important to purchase plants that can handle 6+ hours of full sunlight. I decided it would be best to place the shrubs where I want to plant them to get an idea of how the finished project would look. But after I started planting, I moved a few around. My husband keeps most of his tools in this shed. At first it was pretty difficult to open, but I got it done. It took about 2 to 3 trips to grab what I needed. Unlocking the shed was difficult, but locking it up was just as hard, if not worse. I don't use power tools very often, and it took a couple of tries to get the hang of this one. Last week, my oldest son pulled most of the weeds, so this was the easiest part of the project. The short video that I uploaded Wednesday, entitled, "Are You Watching or Working?" is the day my son was de-weeding our yard. So if you missed that video, go back and check it out. After trimming the hedges and pulling the weeds, I decided to begin the planting process. This was the most difficult part of the entire project. My husband pointed out later that I was actually using the wrong shovel. Apparently, round point shovels are used for digging, while most square point shovels are used for scooping. That's probably why this was the hardest part of the entire project. Granted, I'm not a gardener, but I have planted a few shrubs in my time. Also, our soil remains pretty dry on this side of the home, so before planting the shrubs, I wanted to add some nutrients to it and some water. You may not need to do this to your soil. It just depends on the current state of it and the time of planting. Before I plant my shrubs, I always loosen up the soil. What this does, it allows better and more even distribution of moisture. In other words, water and air circulation. So before you plant your shrubs or flowers, make sure you loosen up the soil. My initial plan was to plant the 3 lavender plants here, but the Japanese holly has the potential to grow 6 to 10 feet wide. However, that can take a lot of years, but I felt this location will give them the most potential for growth. This day it was pretty windy at times, but it was nice having a slight breeze here and there. But unfortunately, the wind blew one of my disposable pots in my neighbor's yard, but they didn't complain. After digging this hole, I was pretty tired. So it was nice that my son suggested he would dig the remaining holes, and all I needed to do was plant the shrubs. I decided at the spur of the moment to remove this shrub. I could tell it was dead, and no matter what I did, I wouldn't be able to revive it. That lighter Japanese holly on the right, I planted it about 2 things grow pretty aggressively. I had some liquid plant food left over from last year, so I decided to go ahead and use the rest of it. Now, if you didn't know, liquid plant food is a concentrated liquid, and you need to add it with water and apply it to your soil and your foliage. And you will see that after I use the rest of this, I follow it up with a lot of water. While I was watering the plants, my husband was preparing the blower so I could blow the dirt off the sidewalk prior to pressure washing it. He also purchased this attachment called the circular power washer attachment. What that does is it allows me to easily remove any stains off concrete. Here I am leveling out the dirt because tomorrow our plan is to spread the mulch. I'm also using the blower to remove some of that dirt because I plan to pressure wash it right after. My husband purchased this scrubber attachment for the pressure washer, and it's great because it helps in removing stains off concrete. But the only problem I have with it is pretty tedious to use because you have to move slowly over the spot. On day 3, the last day of this project, we began spreading the mulch. And it was a pretty simple process. And with the boys' assistance, I was able to get this done in under 2 hours. While the boys were spreading the mulch in the front of the home, I decided to tackle the driveway side. Now this side was pretty easy because we had the exact same mulch already laid, so all I needed to do was refresh it with 4 additional bags. Every once in a while I would see a few critters such as spiders or frogs, and of course I left them alone because they eat all the bugs that are trying to enter our home. The weather on this day was nice. I think it was about 77 degrees with a slight breeze, as opposed to the day prior where the temperature reached a high of 83 degrees. Most people don't do this, but you should cover the ground around your air conditioner. This prevents loose soil or sand to splatter into the AC when it rains. Also, in dry weather, the air whipping around the AC, it picks up dust from the ground and eventually clogs your unit and prevents it from running properly. This was a large project and it required the entire family's involvement. And I want to thank them because they didn't complain once. My oldest son, he's in the jeans. He's the one that has already graduated college and is working and renting our upstairs owner suite until he can afford his own place. And our youngest, he's in the blue shorts. He's currently a sophomore in college and studying to be an accountant. While the boys finished spreading the mulch in the front, I decided to sweep the concrete borders that we had laid about 10 years ago, and they've held up pretty well. After some final touches, the project was complete. Here are some before and after clips of the finished project. If you liked today's video, please hit that like and subscribe button and share this channel with your family and friends. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Also, if you're still watching, check out my playlist, which is the video on the right.